just to go back on that law enforcement, if you really talk to the guys who are the guys and gals involved in that, they'll tell you that it's not putting a dent in the overall.
Welcome to Pull the Pin Already, a place where average veterans come to share their opinions on the world we live in. We can't guarantee you're going to like our opinions,
but we promise we're going to enjoy giving them to you.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Mike.
And I'm Nate.
Let's pull the pin.
Oh, we must.
Welcome back, Nate.
Hey, missed you guys. How y'all been?
I've been living the dream, man. Been out getting high, and no, I'm just joking. I'm joking.
He looks high right now, doesn't he?
Token black man. Token black man.
There you go. That's Jim. I've known him for how long now? And he's been oppressing me ever since.
Jim, we are not going to start every episode like this.
But hey, I got a topic that keep it consistent. I like that, Nate. Hey, I got a topic for you guys. Drugs in America.
Where do we get it?
Where do we get them? You can talk about that, or like, are we really winning this war on drugs? Are we still fighting the war on drugs?
Well, you know Oregon just legalized every drug under the sun, so we'll find out how that goes.
Did they do every drug?
I can't name them by name, but they legalized
a whole bunch of them.
A whole bunch that you didn't think they would like more than marijuana.
But that's consumption levels, though, right? That's not distribution levels.
I think it's. Right.
So it's just like marijuana, the personal consumption,
right.
Personal use.
If you have heroin on you and it's just for you.
Cocaine shop set up in Oregon yet, but could be next.
Yeah, could be. It's coming. But if you have a certain amount of cocaine, they might just say that's for personal and just give you a little citation.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Oh, yeah, I don't think give you a citation unless you're over the certain amount. Then maybe they will. But if you're under it, then it's legal. So.
Oh, okay.
I thought I read that it was a citation. It's a fine. It's no longer jail time they're doing.
Right. Yeah, let's say 2 grams. Let's just use that. If it's any 2 grams and under, you get a citation or something like that, I believe.
He's got these measurements down, huh?
Is that experience or?
Nah. Man, y'all gonna get me in trouble, man.
Guess who's gonna have a piss test tomorrow morning?
I know, right?
No, this episode won't be out tomorrow morning.
Oh yeah. It'll be years later. They're gonna say, "Hey, Mike, we saw your show, man. Come to the office tomorrow."
Wait. Did you subscribe?
Yeah. Oh man. So do you winning the war?
I'm for legalization of marijuana. You know,
yeah.
Everybody, all these states, the country needs money. They're gonna tax it just like alcohol and like tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
That should solve that'll just give them more money to spend on stupid shit they don't need to spend money on. But you would think that would fix a lot of the budget problems across the country.
Yeah, I kind of wish there was a way that, the revenue that comes into states because of these marijuana shops or whatever, the tax revenue that comes in, I wish they could just use that money for rehab. And that right there to me would just take care of all the that it will eradicate drug use before all of these law enforcement, DEA, and all of that crap. That to me, that does nothing.
Yeah, I think those law enforcement agencies serve a good purpose about nailing the distributors and the people bringing it in. But I think the prison time for addiction, I think that was a joke to begin with.
Yeah.
I mean, we should have rehab facilities for these people, not prisons.
Yeah. But just to go back on that law enforcement, if you really talk to the guys who are the guys and gals involved in that, they'll tell you that it's not putting a dent in the overall.
Right. Well, we are talking to those guys.
Yeah.
Right now, we're talking to one of them.
Well, yeah, and I will stand by what I said. It's not putting a dent in anything because as soon as we take Nate, the distributor, off the street, here comes Jim.
See how he did that? See how he squeezed that? Yeah, good touche.
So both of these guys in the black neighborhoods.
We don't stand out.
Yeah, but no, I really believe that, man. It's not putting a dent
But
in the war, but I think if you heal people, that will put a dent in it. You know what I mean?
and that guy who wrote all those great crime bills, we just voted him president, so we should fix everything, right?
I think he's gonna do a. I can't. I just can't. He's gonna do a great job. I just couldn't get it out, man.
He's already off to a good start. I think he broke a
Yeah.
record.
Hey, he's not off to a good start. He's off to a great start.
Right, my
And you
bad.
have to give him a chance. Give him some time.
Look, he has practiced his name enough. We need to move the colors and shapes for him now.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, he did say in his speech, didn't he say his speech, America's a great country? Is that not admitting Trump made it great again?
Ooh, ooh, nice one. Nice one.
Anyway, why are we talking about Biden? Drugs
I know,
are not
right? That's what
involved
we
yet.
do on the show, man. That's what we do on the show. So
No
you guys,
drugs.
so how do you feel? I know we all agree with the marijuana. Is there any other drug out there?
Addiction's addiction. Like I used to smoke, so I was addicted to nicotine, right?
Right.
I wanted to quit. I quit. You have to have the mindset. You have to want to quit to actually quit. You
Right.
can go to rehab and you relapse. Why'd you relapse? Because you didn't want to quit. You went back to the drug you wanted. So there needs to be something where it changes the mindset of people to show them, look, you quit. This is what happens. This is what you get. This is why it's good for you. I don't even want to smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, no, but isn't that part of the rehab process though?
I haven't been to rehab, so I don't know. I can't speak on that.
So
That's just my thought process of how something should work. You got to
Right.
change your mindset to make them want to do whatever you want them to do.
Okay, so keeping on that, changing the mindset. What changed your mindset about nicotine?
I just wanted to quit.
Okay.
It was it's unhealthy. It didn't smell good. It stank. And I quit once in basic training, but that didn't really help because I started smoking again afterwards.
So you really didn't quit then, right?
Yeah, you took
I
a
was
break.
made to quit. I didn't want to quit. It's a difference. I was made to quit. I didn't want to quit. So when I wanted to quit, it only took me one try, and I quit, and I've been done.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, I know people who did it cold turkey, and I know people who are still on the slow turkey roll. You know what I mean? They still trying to quit. And that's nicotine, as alcohol, I don't know any marijuana or cocaine, heroin addicts. I don't know any of those.
I think addiction itself, like you're talking about, is a big thing. And I think people are addicted to a lot of things. And I don't think drugs are just the limit. You can be addicted to fast food and all kinds of sugars. I mean, you could be addicted to a lot of things. The concern is like with certain drugs, they're chemical addictions. They're not just a mental addiction. It's a chemical addiction where, you get it in your body and your body craves it, not necessarily your mind, your body. And those are scary.
Yeah, it's kind of like nicotine, right?
Yeah, I don't know enough about nicotine. I didn't smoke.
People say it's tobacco, but
It's only sugar, but sugar's a chemical too, and you get addicted to sugar. That's why you drink so much sugary drinks. And when you don't drink them, that you literally go through sugar withdrawals and you get headaches and stuff like that. So even sugar is a substance that you can abuse.
Now, is it safe to say that?
Nothing's safe to say here, Mike.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, but no, where I was going with that was we're talking about a lot of drugs that went through a certain process, right? Like marijuana they say it's nothing bad about it, right? And it's a plant.
If it's whole, if it's pure, if it's not laced.
Right, it depends where you get it.
Right. So it's something that's natural and it's no problem, right? Let's just say it's not laced or anything. But with cocaine, it's no. Heroin, no. Hell, let's talk about it.
Chemically made, and you don't know if you're putting the right chemicals in, how much chemicals are in, what other chemicals you're adding in, what you're cutting it with.
And the same thing with the tobacco / nicotine, same thing with alcohol and some sugars, processed sugar, right? You can say it's the same thing. So I get where you guys are going with that, and I agree.
I think it would be ideal if we would focus more on replacing those addictions. Like, because think about it, why do people do these things anyway? They don't do them because, this is tasting great. This is awesome. My lungs feel so refreshed. Like, they don't do it for that. Usually they're doing it for something else. And not everybody, obviously I can't speak about everybody, but people get addicted to certain things because they want to feel good and they're not getting those endorphins released through anything else. So if we could focus on trying to promote getting people's endorphins or getting the good feeling without the bad stuff, maybe we'd invest more time and effort and probably drugs wouldn't be an issue right now.
Would you agree with that, Nate? Since you're formerly addicted to tobacco and nicotine?
I probably. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to get them onto something else. Like what they get them on now is Suboxone. Suboxone's a legal drug to get you off of drugs, but then people get addicted to the Suboxone because it's still something in your system.
But why do you think you started smoking?
So stupid.
Well, I mean, it's probably more than that though, because even if you're stupid and you took a smoke, were you like, oh, this is so amazing?
Well, it's probably peer pressure. Everybody at home was doing it. The kids were doing it. That's what we did back then, and it just grew to be a habit.
Right. So see, right there,
But now,
kind of tells me.
now you look at it. Since I quit smoking, there's not many people that really smoke anymore. That I not really. Well, I haven't been in the military obviously for so long, but I don't know. Like everybody knows, most of us, a lot of us smoked or did some type of tobacco product. The group I hang out with now, most of the time, nobody in that whole group smokes cigarettes at all, which is, I mean, you would think at least one or two people would smoke, but no, I think it's going by the wayside.
And those things are real because, like, I've never smoked. I never did tobacco, none of that. And I never had the pressure to. But I did drink in the military. And that was kind of like where you said the peer pressure. Like, it was awkward being the guy that didn't drink. So I drank, and like,
no,
that's
we
what I'm saying.
appreciate you. No, we appreciate you not drinking.
Well, I didn't. Well, that's. I think when I was when I quit.
DD. Yeah, we had a DD. We knew it.
You got me when I quit, but I drank before in my earlier years.
Yeah, I don't know you when you drank.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I knew both of you guys.
I'm not going to bang on no DD. If you don't drink, good.
Right.
Now I know I'm safe to get home, and someone's going to be watching me be stupid.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, Nate. Like right there, you made me feel important that I don't need to be drinking. So if people were feeling like that, like, hey, you don't need to drink, we're cool, you can drink or you're not, instead of being like, oh, I have one. Because I noticed when I quit drinking, you know how many people tried to get me drunk because they wanted to see what I looked like when I was drunk?
Yep.
Oh.
Like, why is that a thing?
Yeah, I know people that want to see me smoke marijuana. They say, oh, you never smoked it? No need. I don't need it.
If it's legal, will you?
No.
Yeah, I don't like smoking, period, no matter what it is.
I mean, I've tried marijuana. I can count on one hand how many times I tried it. I'd rather drink.
Yeah. Yep. So, I mean, I'm probably alone in this category when I say marijuana should be legal, cocaine and heroin should be legal.
You're not alone.
Oh, no?
I think your body, your choice, right?
Yeah.
I think things that destroy yourself is up to you.
Yep.
I think when it crosses the line is when you drink and get behind a car, when you do marijuana, get behind a car, when you snort cocaine and then do surgery.
Right. Yeah. Well, same here. When you start, it's just like almost anything else. I think people should be able to be free to do whatever they want as long as they don't infringe on someone else's, pursuit of happiness, as they call it, right?
Or their life, or their liberty.
Yeah. Yep. Life, liberty.
Unalienable rights.
Unalienable.
Alienable. Dang, I knew I was going to mess it up. I even heard a lawyer say alienable.
Unalienable? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, man, if you really talk to, here we go again.
Another rabbit hole. Get back on the drugs. Mike, get back on drugs.
Yeah, get back on drugs. I knew it.
So what are they going to? Are they going to make cocaine plants to legally make cocaine? Or are you just saying use the stuff off the streets, but don't worry about it?
No, I'm not saying don't worry about it, but I don't think it should be legal. I think we spend too much time and money going after drug dealers, whereas if you just make it legal, it takes a lot of the power away from them.
Right. So
the cost is not going to be as high.
So for marijuana, they have these grow plants. They have these businesses set up to sell marijuana legally. Mm-hmm. It's grown legally. It's tracked by the government. It's taxed by the government. For cocaine and heroin, they should do the same thing, or just off the streets, but they'll bother them.
I would say tax it.
I'd say tax it all.
Somehow legally make cocaine and heroin and sell it in a store.
Tax it all and make it go to the recovery of people.
Because my whole position, Nate, is what are they doing with alcohol? Why can't they do the same thing with another drug?
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's just my position.
So as long as it's controlled,
yeah,
and you're getting legit cocaine or a certain percent. I don't know what
Right. I got you.
Whatever.
I got you. Yeah.
Like alcohol is, they have to be approved by the government to brew it and blah blah blah.
Right.
And everything. Except for moonshiners, those are my guys. But
Yeah.
So let me take you guys down a thought process, not a rabbit hole, a thought process. So let's say we legalize heroin and cocaine. What happens as a residual effect of that? Dealers, Colombia, what happens?
The value of the drug will go down.
Right.
It's
So what are the ramifications of that locally?
Locally now? I think in the short term, you'll have a lot more people on drugs. Because you know how it is. Hey, just like Nate just asked me, if it's legal, would you try it? You know, if it's legal, people are going to go out there and try it. Now, some of those people are going to get hooked on it. But my thing is, I look at it from a long-term perspective, and I truly believe, based on a study that I read way back in the days, you will eradicate drugs in this country if you focus on rehab more so than law enforcement.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the drug dealers then will resort to something else then.
Oh yeah, it's always, hey. One of the things they're
gonna lose money, so they're just gonna rob the stores with their money from.
Yeah, they're gonna resort to some other type of crime.
Well, it's like the way of the mafia. The mafia went from like doing these drug things and pinching people to like a Medicare fraud. They just shake up a doctor and they start stealing money on the back end of that.
Yep. And some type of extortion for security or something like that, you know, right? But I truly believe that those guys, like I said, 3 to 5 years, it'll be an upswing in addiction, but we focus on rehab, that'll take care of that. And a lot of people will just focus on that 3 to 5 years. Oh, the kids, oh, this, and that's what a lot of people use that as an argument. And I'm like, okay.
So
I don't know.
I worry about my kids also, but I still feel the way I do.
I don't know if this would be a different show topic, but if you think all drugs should be illegal, should all guns be illegal or be legal? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm for it.
Yeah, we ain't going down that rabbit hole. Let's continue this thought process. Let's move to the borders. Let's move to the borders. How would legalizing drugs affect our borders?
They won't come across the borders as much because we don't need it in the country because we have legal drugs to buy.
Might make our borders safer, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And then let's go to places like Colombia. What do you think will happen when those people ain't making their money off the drugs they're importing here?
Just like that plus just like the drug dealers we were just referencing, they're gonna find something else. You know, most of the cartel, they were like smuggling TVs and things like that before they got into the drug game. You know what I mean? So they're just gonna go back to doing something like that, some type of. And personally, I think it's gonna be human trafficking.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the same thing. So that could be an unintended result.
Yeah, but that result is already here.
Well, I agree, but it could cause an uptick.
It's going to be a spike in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, that's what people focus on. They say, well, it's going to cause more human trafficking. Oh, the girls and boys.
So the solution to that, Mike, is to make human trafficking legal?
Only if they take you.
They'll pay to get rid of me.
Yeah, exactly. But no, go ahead.
Sorry. I was going to ask if there was any other unintended consequences you guys can think of.
Unintended? No.
Those other harder drugs like cocaine and heroin and stuff like that, they have a worse consequence when you use them than marijuana. Like those people like overdose and pass out and don't know what the hell's going on around them. You smoke weed, you just get hungry and go to bed. But I know someone, they've done heroin. The kids are there. They done kids 4. Fell over the house.
What about the argument that marijuana is often seen and it's been proven to be a gateway drug to other drugs?
It's been proven?
Yeah. But I mean, everybody's gonna have a case where you have somebody in some 12-step process or whatever, and they say, "Yeah, I started out on marijuana and ended up on heroin." You know what I mean?
you know what's a gateway to drugs? Birth. Birth is a gateway to drugs.
Oh my goodness!
We've already tried to make that illegal.
I've smoked cigarettes. I've drank alcohol. I've done marijuana. and I ain't going further. So the gateway for who?
Yeah.
People that want to keep going,
You have to have the mindset to want to quit.
Let me
It
ask
goes
you.
back to your point.
or not,
Yeah.
or not do drugs like that.
Yeah.
So let me ask you about another element of this that, why I'm talking about unintended consequences. There are drugs that make you hallucinate, do crazy things, maybe kill your family, maybe kill a bunch of people. You think the uptick in law enforcement shootings will go up?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
think
really
law
do.
enforcement right now is so on edge with shootings anymore because all they do is get criminalized for anything and everything. You can have it on video where the criminal shot at the cop, and the cop shot and killed the criminal, and people are protesting the cop should not have shot the criminal. I mean, I don't know that if they know they're on drugs, some of those things, even tasers and pepper spray don't work on those guys.
Mm-hmm.
So what do? You just keep running around?
I don't know, guys. We've all been in law enforcement, right? I have never worried about that, and not even going. I'm talking about before I pull my firearm. If I had to put my hands on someone, I never worried about that. And I'm not saying I'm better than anyone else or anything. I just think it was the training. I think it
I
was
think
the training.
you're actually a civilian cop outside of military
Yeah.
police. So I think, military has their problems as always, but I think it's a lot smaller than the outside world. There's not as many drug addicts.
Plus, you have more drug testing.
Right.
Yeah.
There's not many
Yeah.
drug addicts on post. So you don't have as many problems
Right.
on post as you do as a civilian police officer. So I think that's why we didn't have those major problems like that on post, because they weren't major problems. Most of the people in the military were there for the proper reason.
And I know as in a civilian environment, I've been to places where crazy people on drugs were erratic, and it was scary. It was scary because you didn't want to do anything. You didn't want to have to pull your gun, but you kind of like, what do? You can't rationalize with these people. You can't, even if you took a chance to go in, if he's holding a knife, he's crazy. So sometimes they played out nice. Sometimes, I've never seen anybody shot in that scenario, but I've heard of stories. So I just can't imagine if everybody's in their house doing this stuff, that's not going to cause a problem for law enforcement on the other side, as opposed to arresting them or trying to find them. Now they're responding to them legally doing it.
Yeah, but my whole thing is, I truly believe that's one of the short term effects.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would say that would eventually phase itself out. Sure.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to be a cop responding to, drug after drug after drug call. Yeah.
If it's legal, why respond?
Yeah, right. Because they're probably like got their kid hanging out the window, holding him by his feet, or
it'd be a lot more fights that you have to respond to.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it's going to be a spike in all of those. It's going to be a spike in more crime. Period.
There's always give and take, right? There's always a compromise. We just have to figure it out. And this is one of the things I don't want to go down another rabbit hole, but this is one of the things I bag our leaders in government, which I really don't know why I'm calling them leaders. That was a slip.
Elected officials.
Our elected officials, they don't take these thought processes. They don't go down these routes and say, well, what if this? What if that? What's going to affect? And we just did it in like 5 minutes that they probably haven't even considered. So I wish we would at least address this and get smarter people or people more information in here, because nobody's smarter than Mike in here. But
Mike Wass, you here? Mike Wass? But no, yeah, I think what they do compared to what we do is say things like, hey, what's more popular? Legalizing drugs, or trying to make more laws against the legalization of drugs? Whatever's more popular. Hey, let's get a poll.
That sounds like you're saying, let's give the people what they want?
No, that's saying more like, hey, how do I get reelected here?
Okay, all right.
You know what I mean? Because in one instance, whatever the demographic is, let's say your demographic is 90% for this, they'll do that, right? And then your demographic is against something over here, but this demographic that they want to get their votes, It's all about who's, getting that
And-
popular vote.
And some presidents can do that while in office.
I know Jersey just legalized marijuana, and Delaware, where I live, borders Jersey. So now the talk is, well, everybody in Delaware is now going to Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
So Delaware is losing all these tax dollars to those people that are going to Jersey. So now the talk is, how soon is Delaware going to legalize marijuana
Yeah.
to keep those tax dollars in their own state?
It's all about the money. Ain't that something? And I guarantee you, man, because we did it in Georgia when I was I forgot the class I was in, but we had to look at a city's budget, and then we had to balance that budget. And sometimes you have to be cruel,
Right.
One thing nobody messed with, and I think it's because I was a part of that group in college. I was a cop at the time, so nobody talked about cutting law enforcement. Because I said, no, that's not going to happen. Law enforcement, education, no. But we cut a lot of
emergency services and education. There's no need to cut those budgets.
Right. So I was about to go someplace else, but we could. Unions. That'd be a topic for a show. Yeah, unions.
Why don't we just have a show on what topics to talk about?
Yeah, I know, right?
Or even better, wait. Why don't we appeal to the audience? What do you want us to talk about?
You're gonna say the majority rules?
No, I'm just gonna say throw your suggestions in the comments.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah. We'll talk about what the people want to hear.
There you go. Hey, let me ask you something. What do you think is gonna take to get rid of all the drugs, or not get rid of them, because drugs are always gonna be here, but to eradicate the problem that we currently have?
Legalizing. I'm not all for legalizing the hard drugs like you are, Mike. But I think the first step would be legalizing marijuana. See how that plays out.
Right.
I agree with rehab instead of jail. Jail doesn't do anything to you. Jail's not to rehabilitate you. Jail's just to keep you off the street.
Yep.
I think you're right on point with the rehab, and I think the conundrum is this: is when you look at something that's I don't want to say immoral. I guess you could say drugs are immoral or not, but when you normalize something, there are certain ramifications you create from normalizing something. And like Mike said, he identified, well, the immediate effects might be more people doing drugs and things like that. But there's also no guarantee that that doesn't stay the standard. There's no guarantee that it is a short time thing. There could be like, well, everybody's doing it, so we might as well do it. When you legalize things that are potentially dangerous or morally incorrect, I mean, I know this could be on either opinion, but that I think is very slippery slope. And that's where I think it's got the potential right now where we can take steps, but yet we can't really go full board, even if I agreed it.
Yeah, like I said, you said that potentially dangerous drugs. If someone's on drugs and starts doing something, and when it's me or you, guess what? I'm going, well, I might not be going home, but I'm going to be alive. I might be in a back of a cop car, but I'm going to be alive.
Right.
Well, yeah.
So there's more thought. We're getting late in this one anyway, because we got to keep this one to a limit. So why don't we pull the pin on the drugs for now? We can always revisit it later. I'm sure we'll have people in some more to talk about. But why don't we do our little COVID update?
Anybody have a COVID update?
I do.
Shit's opening up.
I do, and it's direct contradiction to what you just said. Because I am a hockey fan, and my team was just on postponement because they had 12 people come down with COVID. And guess what? Another one of my teams just today had to postpone because most of their teams got COVID. So we're opening up, but people are getting COVID.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
No, they postponed because they were scared to play the Penguins.
No. Now, maybe the players got COVID on purpose because they were scared. Maybe.
So 12 of them got COVID.
Yeah.
How are all 12 doing right now?
I don't know. I'm not there. I wish I was, but I'm not.
Probably all right.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like I said, it's in the news. But yet you're telling me they're opening up. So I don't know what to think.
You see how many flu cases are across the country right now?
No, I haven't seen
Exactly.
I'm talking about it. No one has the flu.
No.
I haven't heard
Everybody's
of
got
it.
COVID.
Yes.
Everybody's got COVID, man. No one
Nothing
has
wrong with the
flu.
numbers, though. Don't insinuate
No
people.
one has the flu because everybody's wearing masks and social distancing, but yet COVID cases went up.
Yeah.
All right, stop with your logic. Fauci knows best.
Yeah.
Double
Wear two
mask.
masks. Yeah.
Double mask by next week, triple mask, and we're opening everything up. So that's our COVID update.
There
Tune
you
in for
go.
the next episode. We got to move into our favorite segment called Pull the Pin Already, where we get a chance to talk about something we really don't like, which we kind of do every episode, but this is a little shorter version of something totally unspecific. So who's got one?
I got one. Oh.
Ooh, Mike got
Holy
one.
cow, we got a winner. Ding, 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 ding.
Ooh.
Mike, by all means, sir, please.
This is one of those. I really
Yeah,
didn't
sure,
have
right.
one. I really didn't have one, but I didn't want it to be silent.
All right,
I don't have it.
I'll let you think of one. So I'm sure you guys didn't have this problem where you live right now, but we just got a snowstorm up here in the northeast region of America.
Okay.
So everybody goes out, they shovel their driveways, they shovel their sidewalks, and here comes the snowplow. Snow all up on your sidewalk and all pile in your driveway again.
Hate it.
Why? Can't they drive a little bit slower?
Mm.
They don't push snow all the way up my driveway and all the way over my sidewalks again.
Why
My
can't
other
they
thing about
suck snow? Why
my
can't
other
they-
thing about these sidewalks, it's my responsibility to keep them clear. But they my damn sidewalks are owned by the county.
Yeah.
So why do I got to clear the county sidewalks?
Can I tell you something? I drove a Zamboni. You know what that does? It
Cleans
cuts
the ice.
ice and lays down water. Why do we have trucks that can't pick up the damn snow? Take it with you. Oh, I could have used that for my pull the pin.
You
Oh,
could've.
sorry. I would have been tagging on yours, though. Sorry. All right, I'll stop.
Yeah, what Jim said.
Yeah. And that's my pull the pin.
And that's my pull the pin. Mike, go ahead, sir.
I actually I do have one, right? And this is something that I know you guys. This is near and dear to everyone's heart, right? Taxes, income taxes specifically. You know, I've been a proponent that we shouldn't have them. We shouldn't have them. It needs to go away. If you look at the tax revenue, what we're doing with the money, and the fact that if we had a consumption tax, all the studies have shown that we would get more money, more tax revenue that way. Look it up, fair tax. Look up the fair tax plan. I'm telling you, more people get on that, but no one wants to talk about that. We're too busy talking about the crime bill and this guy who used to be a racist and now he's not anymore.
We can have a whole episode on it. Then. All right,
Okay,
we'll do that. We'll put that on
sorry.
the side.
Yeah, but taxes, income taxes. I want to pull the pin on it and start a new plan.
Awesome. There's a lot of new plans when you start. Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go back to the carpool lane at school. I know I've talked about some idiots. I don't want to call them idiots. That's not fair because maybe they're just ignorant.
Did.
Yeah. But some people, all right. So maybe sometimes I come off a little bit like, you should know better. But there's people in the carpool lane that literally stop in front of the door instead of pulling up to the front of the line where you're supposed to. Like, it's not like your first time ever in a carpool lane. You know that the line goes all the way up there. And maybe it's not a big deal, but maybe the guy 2 cars behind me is not in the first pickup and he's got somewhere to be, so he showed up early, but you decided to leave 2 empty spots that 2 kids can't get in their car. And you do it all the time. Like, at some point, you're going to look in front of you and say, hey, well, there's a car in front of me. Maybe I should pull up there. Come on, people. Come on. I mean, you don't have to be a genius. You do it every day. It's not the first day of school. I'll give you that slack, but I don't know. Maybe you guys don't deal with this. Maybe you guys don't take your kids to school, but
School bus.
Yeah, school bus. No, I don't like school buses.
I take mine to school, but it's totally different. No one can do what you just said. The way
ours are in lanes. They're like 2 sets of cars, and you drop off. Well, drop off is 1 lane. Pickup is 2 sets.
Right.
But yeah, these people, you got to stop. You got to look.
They don't want someone out there directing them. Hey, now
Well,
go ahead and move up.
That's the funny part. I rolled down the lady because the lady has to come out and take the names so they can tell what kids to come out. And I'm like, hey, that car up there, they don't ever seem to move up. She's like, yeah, I don't want to start any trouble. I'm like, well, maybe they don't know. Maybe they don't know they're not supposed to park there. They tell them to move up.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not going to tell them, who's gonna? So,
Yeah.
like, aren't you in charge here at the school? Like,
You're
aren't you
going
the
to
one
tell them,
supposed to-
Jim.
Huh?
Yeah. Why don't you tell them, Jim?
I asked
You're gonna
her.
tell
I
them.
asked her if they wanted me to tell them, and she's like,
You
"Well, we don't want." I'm like, ah.
Why do you have to ask them about that? Why don't you
Well,
just do
because
it? Take
I
initiative.
I have a real challenge sometimes with talking to people when they really, really irritate me.
Oh, okay.
So maybe it's better if I tell the authorities, who the
But-
people who have the
I disagree with that, but okay, that's your pull the pin. But I disagree.
with the pull the pin or my.
No, how you say you have a problem with that? Talking to
Yeah,
people that irritate you. We do it
Well-
almost 2-3 times a week.
Yeah, and you constantly call me a racist. See how that works? Anyway, that is all the time we have for this episode. We thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the conversation. By all means, throw some comments in the comment section. What do you want us to talk about? And remember, always jump over to Rumble, subscribe there too, because it ain't going to be long before YouTube says, we don't like what you're saying. So until the next time, Godspeed.
And pull the pin.
Boom.
Thanks for joining us here at Pull the Pin Already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.